Well, welcome everyone. My name is Drew Trammell. I'm the VP of Sales here at Ascend Technologies. And today we're cutting through all the noise and getting straight to what really matters in manufacturing customer service. Make your agents smarter, your processes faster, and your customers happier without really burning out your team in the process, which happens a lot. With me today, we have the dream team. We've got Jeremy Moore, our senior solutions architect, Julie Brandt, our AE extraordinaire, and Tom Playa, our go-to SE who knows the Salesforce engine inside and out. We'd like to make this interactive, so if you wouldn't mind, if you have questions, just drop them in the chat and we will get to them at some point. All right, let's be real. AI isn't really the future. It's now, it's happening, if you guys hadn't noticed. Manufacturers who are lagging are losing. The good news, you don't need a rip and replace or overhaul or long, timely project. You just need to get smart and get smart about how you launch. Here's what we're going to cover today. How to actually use AI, not just talk about it. Why your data and processes are the real MVPs of the show, and most importantly, what to do next. And I'm going to give you a little hint. It's not do nothing.
So what does Agentforce bring to the table? It's definitely a burning question. It's been very hot from a marketing standpoint for Salesforce and for other IT providers. From a high level in its core features, it brings the capabilities to handle complex tasks that require decision making that normal chatbots can't handle. It can do robust functions such as generating documents, making suggestive decisions around sales and around service. In manufacturing, some common use cases we see with our clients are generating new orders based on historical order volume, checking supplier inventory to help boost sales and make sure that orders can be fulfilled in a timely manner or set expectations if they can't. Agentforce plays really well with omni-channel. So you have the ability to integrate your other service channels into Agentforce and not lose any of those customer or partner interactions along the way, really streamlining your service process and deflecting cases that may potentially come up. And then from a proactive and predictive service standpoint, Agentforce leverages analytics to resolve customer issues, partner issues before they even arise. And so that's going to help deflect cases, provide a better quality experience, and put less effort on the customers and partners who may have a case, whether it's warranty related, service, order related in the manufacturing space. And then one key thing that Agentforce does really well and powered by the data cloud engine in Salesforce is bringing together data that can help trigger different actions in the manufacturing space, whether it's your service warranty is about to expire, or you have a service interval that needs to come or that's coming up, keeping the customers and partners top of mind for everything manufacturing right at their fingertips. Why does it matter for manufacturing? Well, it matters for every industry. It doesn't matter if you're only using it internally or using it externally. Agentforce has a lot of power, and it really is the way of the future to handle sort of those mundane or to have some more of those mundane tasks and inquiries handled by an agent before going to a human agent. One of the key features is being able to schedule those service intervals, those recalls, those warranties ahead of schedule. Have that pre-planned, have the field technicians ready to go, and to have customers and partners fully serviced and all of their warranty obligations met. Provides a seamless customer experience with intelligent case deflection. And when needed, it will process that inquiry, whether it's through chat or through a case, to the most qualified human agent, which is really key, really elevating Omni Studio's core capabilities today. And then smarter agent onboarding. It shortens ramp up time for customers and partners. You have the ability to build agents that can really empower the ramp up process through customer experience environments, even through your own website, providing information at their fingertips that they may need, such as a product guide, service warranty, time limits, things like that. And then it's really boosted it, or it boosts confidence from day one because it's grounded in trusted data. All the data that is leveraged in Agentforce, whether it's structured or unstructured, structured meaning Salesforce data, knowledge articles, or unstructured data such as raw data files, all is leveraged to really make the agent powerful and provide the best experience.
All right, I'm going to talk through, just kind of give you a little preview of what we're going to see here today in use cases. As we think about how manufacturers can get real value from AI and automation, here are a few powerful real world use cases we're seeing across the board that we're going to discuss here shortly. So sales rep efficiency. We're seeing a big lift here. Reps can instantly access product info, customer history, and pricing. It reduces the friction and making, when you're making everyday interaction more productive. This isn't about replacing reps. That's absolutely not the case. It's about empowering them and letting them do more with the time and letting them be more effective. Product availability and pricing. This one's all about speed and accuracy. AI taps into ERP or inventory system of your choice to give real-time data on availability and cost. So customers get answers right away. No back and forth, no waiting on the line, those kind of things. Order and shipment status self-service, a huge time saver. Instead of calling in or waiting on emails, customers can check order and shipping status via chatbot or portal, fully automated and fully accurate. So you're going in and they're doing the work themselves and being able to see it real time and very quickly. Service to sales handoff. This is where we start connecting the dots actually. When a customer has a service need that turns into a sales opportunity, AI can flag it and start the handoff to a rep with no missed upsells. Once again, very quick and very easy. And then IE agent for product troubleshooting. Think of this as a digital tech support rep. Customers describe their issue and the AI walks them through troubleshooting steps or routes them to the right expert when needed. Once again, very quick. All of these use cases help manufacturers drive efficiency, improve customer experience, and create new revenue pathways, all without hiring an army of folks. All right, sales rep efficiency. This use case is all about saving reps time and helping them show up smarter. Think mobile updates on the go, AI-driven summaries of accounts and deals, and auto-generated follow-ups. It's high value, low effort. Most of this works out of the box and reps actually want it. I mean, it makes their job much easier to walk in and start a conversation. So let's talk about this a little bit. How is Agentforce helping the sales team be more efficient?
I'd say from my perspective, pretty much what you said here, Drew. But I think a big one is really being able to, like you said, automate my information or put my information in faster, more efficiently. And really, and also another one for me is being able to check to see maybe is there an issue with an account before I walk in the door. Real time, I can check just through AI, through my mobile to see if anything's happening that I need to know about. And then I think what you probably want to hear is my boss is I'm going to sell more because of this. So you'll probably hear that from me throughout this webinar, but just giving me more time to sell and concentrate on the important things and not get caught up, like you mentioned early, in the mundane day-to-day things that we sales and everybody has to do.
And you could just look at your phone before you go into a call, right? I mean, easy as that, and we all know being prepared is the key. So what would you say the major benefit is?
I think more time. I mean, I think just really being more efficient. I mean, and a big one for me is it's real time. So,
Right.
And we all know it's only as good as the data that's in, and we'll get to that later. And most of the folks, a lot of them know me on the line, so I preach that, and it's just really important, for the data. It's only as good as what you're putting in. So I think the real time is a big one for me, and trusting the data.
Great. Love it.
I'll add that I think you're going to see in a couple of years a world where sales reps don't type on their computer to access Salesforce, that they speak to it on their phone. And as Julie has been talking about, right, that's going to save a lot of time. But I don't think we're very far away from that world either. A couple of years, we'll be starting that journey. Right now, we can do it. And in fact, we'll talk a little bit later about an example that I'm already working on with a customer. But that'll just ramp up. As the data gets better, we're going to do more and more where the sales rep in particular, maybe out of all the personas in a company, the sales rep will gain that efficiency by not needing to sit down at his computer on a Friday and you do a bunch of data entry to update his opportunities, enter call reports. They'll do all of that from the phone, and
a lot of information is going to come to them automatically, right? Even without them specifically wanting a certain thing, it's going to be predictive, in other words, correct?
Some of that will be true. Yes, absolutely. I mean, AI, we'll talk about lots of examples where, in fact, those last two touch points, the service to sales handoff, is very much a, finding opportunities that can be handed to them without them asking. And it's not, of course, for the sales rep just updating the database, giving information. It's getting information, walking into that office and saying, what are the orders? What's the order status of the last open orders? That's going to make a big difference.
And having it all auto-populated. Perfect.
Right.
All right, on to the next use case. So product availability and pricing. This use case connects Salesforce to ERP for real-time product availability and dynamic pricing based on user or account type. Think of it as almost an overlay on your ERP, right? To make it, easily sliced and diceable. More advanced setups can even forecast availability using past consumption trends. Very key. In a high value, low effort win, start with a few SKUs. Pull in ERP data via data cloud and scale as needed. You don't have to, pull everything at once, right? Start with little bites and go from there. So start off this for a question for Jeremy. How would you get started?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And this one we've included in the list because we do think it's very powerful. It can be very complex for sure. Obviously, we all know what our ERP systems look like and, integrating to those. This is the first time we're going to really talk about where data cloud is a key component. And I think you'll see as you dig into AI, you'll realize that having a good data repository, whether it be CRM or other systems, data cloud or another external integration tool, you're going to need quality data. Here, data cloud really is the tool of choice if you can get it, because it's going to allow you to harmonize your data. So bringing in all of that product and pricing data, and then allowing you to then expose it to the AI, the agent, so that you can ask it questions. Product availability, of course, is going to come from your inventory system. Pricing is going to come from your product list, and it needs to be correlated with the kind of customer so that the right pricing can be delivered. So, what's great about Data Cloud is it can just do a little bit of that. You don't have to bite off all of that at the same time, but eventually you'll want to have this. And the benefit, of course, is obvious. Right now, if a sales rep wants to know what products are available, they've got to probably call somebody, and that person's got to dig into the system, get back to them. What we're trying to do is allow them to give that answer real time in the customer's office, right? When they talk about, can you deliver this next week? I can answer that question.
And once again, being a bit predictive as well, correct? So you're not sifting through just
Right.
mountains and mountains of data
Right.
all at once, so you can be quick and to the point and get to what you need.
Yep, that's correct.
For service, what did you say the benefits are for service?
Well, I think it's similar, right? I mean, everybody's going to be able to access this agent, and if you want them to, right? And so this tends to be more of an internal thing. You probably wouldn't expose this directly to customers unless your customer base is very specific. Maybe your dealer network would have access to this, but certainly, your your service people are going to gain the same benefit.
Right.
They're going to get calls all the time. The customer's going to say, "When is my product coming?" That might come from a slightly different place in your ERP system than just product inventory, but yeah, service is still going to benefit the same way.
Great, appreciate that. Let's move on to order status and self-service. So this use case lets customers and dealers check order or shipment status on their own with no rep needed. It escalates to a human only when needed and ensures really consistent support. And it's another high value, low effort win. Most manufacturers already have this order data available, sitting there waiting for us. And it's easy to expose it through Agentforce and Data Cloud. So quick question, how does Agentforce help reduce the need for manual follow-ups?
I can jump in on this one, Tom, unless you want to, something to say.
Yeah, absolutely. So Agentforce on the ordering side, I would really call this one of the core features that our manufacturing clients look at. What it can do is it can provide the ability to quickly get order status updates. Where is it at in terms of production? Where is it at in terms of shipment? Are there any delays? And then also provide the ability to make those changes that may come up after the order has been placed, whether it's an add-on to an existing order. It will be able to create that sales agreement and update the existing order, supply shipment information if it's shipped separately, giving partners and customers in the manufacturing space more flexibility to quickly resolve any order related inquiries or changes after the fact. And if nothing else, it has all of the data connected where you can get accurate order updates at the tip of your fingers so that you can supply that information to your customers.
And I mean, it's just more efficient, right? And it literally, kind of helps cut out a kind of a costly step, which lets it all flow better. So, Julie, what do you think are some of the benefits for sales?
Well, I think it just helps kind of field those routine questions. And I think from a salesperson or from my perspective, it kind of allows me more time to do more upselling to the customer. And a lot of the other stuff is just kind of handled and I don't have to get as involved. So I think it gives me more time to concentrate on how to expand. And I'm going to say it again, sell more. So I think that's a big part for me.
Yes, we all like to sell more. Let's go on to service to sales handoff. So this use case turns service interactions into sales opportunities, and we all like more sales opportunities. Agentforce monitors service cases and flags the sales team when there's potential opportunity. No process changes required for either team on this one. It's high value, low effort. Once again, you hear me saying that a lot. It uses data you already have with Einstein, making smart recommendations in the background. So let's talk about this one a little bit. How does Agentforce turn service interactions into sales opportunities?
That's a great question. And, I think what is important
$1 million question, Jeremy, $1 million question.
What's important to learn about this one is that, when we think of the agent and Agentforce, we're thinking a lot of that interactive chat window, right? Where we're going to speak in natural language to it, and it's going to, use the reasoning engine in Salesforce to make some decisions, and then use the large language model to respond to us. And that's true, right? All of that is a big, powerful part of Agentforce. But behind the scenes, Agentforce and Einstein can do many other tasks. For example, when a service case is entered and certain conditions are met on that case, that tell us that there's an expiring warranty, as our example here, that we can immediately and automatically, based on the rules we set up, make an opportunity. What we're using there, by the way, is flows, Salesforce flows. So Agentforce can call a flow and execute a flow to take some action, in this case, to make a record, an opportunity in the system. It could just make a task for the salesperson. It can chat them. It can text them if you need to, right? So it can do a lot of different external communications, send emails, but you're using AI to analyze that data and find out, are we meeting the right conditions, and then deciding what the communication and setup needs to be. So it is pretty powerful.
Yeah, and I think from a sales perspective, it's, it's qualified. It's just real time, again, qualified information, very timely. So the fact that you can respond that quickly to the customer as well is going to help in customer satisfaction at the end of the day as well.
Well, it's things that you probably wouldn't come up to you until you're actually sitting down with the customer once a month or twice, once a quarter, where this just comes to you, and it's automatic opportunity.
I mean, this one's easy to set up, and the thing that's I love about this one is it doesn't require your service team to necessarily behave differently. You don't have to train them to do a lot of different things, to hand off the lead. Even if they're already doing that, you can sort of take that responsibility away from them, because AI in the background is going to look at what they're doing to service the customer and then make decisions based on that to involve sales teams. So it's pretty powerful.
Very powerful indeed. All right, let's move on to product troubleshooting.
One comment there on the
sorry,
service
go ahead,
side.
Tom.
Yeah, no problem. Just wanted to add this, that the service to sales handoff, it actually works both ways with Agentforce. You have, a sales to service handoff as well. But really one of the key features that drives it is the ability to use the IoT, so Internet of Things, to keep it simple, is data in different places, sensors to trigger those service related requests, or let's say issues that may actually become some sort of sales endeavor. So it really warms things up. It's giving the customer a notification. It's giving the organization, the manufacturer, a notification. And it's really queuing that up, whether it's known early or if it's an issue type sensor that shouldn't normally happen, but it's something that needs to be serviced. It's getting all parties aligned very early that this sensor has gone off, or there's regular intervals that you're now triggering that you need specific service.
Well, and it probably brings predictive maintenance into the mix as well, I would think.
Absolutely. Any product that has a computer system that is built to track that, think of vehicles keep getting more and more complex. Their computer systems are meant to not only define regular maintenance intervals for standard maintenance, but also any issues that arise. You have that same capability with Agentforce, but now you're able to tailor it to your business and the systems that you have in place and the data that you're getting on the back end that typically wouldn't be shared outside of inside operations.
Great, thank you, Tom. All right, now let's move on to product troubleshooting. So this use case focuses on helping customers and agents troubleshoot products faster. Agentforce uses exciting support content and existing support content like PDFs or knowledge bases and turns it into, conversational AI across chat, SMS, or even WhatsApp. High value, low effort, there's that again. Most manufacturers already have the content. Now it's about making it accessible without needing a live agent. So first off here, how are agents using Agentforce to quickly find internal info? Because we have a lot of data, a lot of volumes and volumes of data.
We're all very familiar with knowledge articles. I mean, those who have had Salesforce for a while, know what a knowledge article is, and that in itself is pretty powerful, right? You're able to give a common answer. All service reps are solving problems in the same way and are able to collaborate on that data. And that is fully searchable, right? Very, very useful. What this is going to allow, what what AI enables, especially with Data Cloud, is that we can actually bring in technical documentation that's in PDF or Word form and have AI use that information to give answers. So rather than us even having to write a knowledge article and not to say that that can't be included in the answer, but
Right.
AI is able to use all of this information to give more natural language responses through all the channels that you mentioned there, Drew. So a customer can text, a customer can go on your website and chat, or if you're reluctant to allow customers to access this kind of product info, you allow your service reps to use the same tool to provide a better, quicker answer to the customer. One, in maybe that is in a more clear fashion as well. I think that's a big part of it, because sometimes technical documentation is hard to consume. What AI and the large language model can do is take that information and securely share it with the customer. I want to highlight that secure part too.
Right.
One of the things that's true about Agentforce is that there's a trust layer in there, and that trust layer will ensure that the large language model cannot store or reuse the information it's provided to give a response. All it can do is use that information to come up with
Right.
a clear response, and then it does not save it. And that Salesforce has great documentation to explain exactly how that works. But that's really powerful. So you don't have to be fearful of making your product documentation available to Agentforce, thinking that AI is going to get a hold of it and give it out through ChatGPT or something like that. It can't do that.
Internal and secure. That's what we like to hear. What would you say some of the benefits for sales for this is, Julie?
Well, I think I'm going to go back to customer satisfaction. I think, by being able to quickly resolve issues, get answers out, I think that helps in the end. It's just, again, real time. It's just quicker. It's more efficient way to handle it. And then I think also just providing product guidance to them. Yeah, I just think it's real time. I just think it's the world we're all going to be in, and it's just quick response and accurate responses, right? Like the right information at the right time, is going to lead to just higher customer satisfaction overall.
Very much agree. Tom, any benefits to service here?
Yeah, absolutely. The themes are similar. On the service side, I would say, the earlier point we made that Agentforce is not just standard chatbots. It takes it a step further in its level of logical and rational thinking and making recommendations and executing on that. The difference between Agentforce agent and a chatbot would be the Agentforce agent would be able to take that service inquiry each step up the ladder. Okay, is it a product information issue? Let me share that guide. Do you have to troubleshoot something specific? Well, here's how you troubleshoot that. Nope, that didn't work. Okay, now we need to schedule some time with one of our team members or schedule a service appointment, getting you all the way up to what you could call resolution or near resolution. And if it's something along the lines of a refund, it's able to execute all those actions. And not only that, it's creating all the data in the CRM. It's creating that sales order. It's creating that credit back. It's issuing that payment, or it's scheduling the appointment. That's what's really key, is taking away those steps that there's someone in every organization with Salesforce doing something like that today. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's opportunities now to build some functionality to give those people more time to do things that involve human intervention.
Thanks, Tom. On to the next. I think now Jeremy's going to go through an actual client story.
Yeah, thanks, Drew. Yeah, let me share a little bit. So we're working with one of our large customers, the global medical device company, and we are in the middle of a proof of concept. I think as many of you out there probably are thinking, how can I deploy AI? What does it take to get that done? What is the cost? A POC is a great way to start to evaluate that. And that's what we're doing here. We're focused mostly on the sales use case, so sales efficiency. We've got 3 different teams working on sort of different angles to this. So one team's focused mostly on like allowing the salesperson to update the records in Salesforce, create a call report, for example, update their opportunity, add or update a contact, simple things, right, for a proof of concept. The second team is working on querying information. So what orders, order status, for example, is a big one that they get a lot when they visit a customer. And then the third one is how do we and what does it take to connect Data Cloud? So using some of the ERP data to expose answers to the sales team, right? Again, all of this is contained with the sales team. We're not looking initially in this POC to expose anything directly to the customer or even to the service team. So, you know, we want to gain confidence that AI and large language model give true and accurate responses consistently, right? AI, that is a major concern of AI, is that it doesn't hallucinate, that its answers are consistent, that you can, you know, with the varying prompts you might get from different people, you will get the same kind of answer, and it knows how to answer that question. We're working through what it takes to set it up. So what is the, you know, cost to set up each agent? How, what does it take to define a use case? What does it take to identify the prompts? What's involved in testing? How much time does it take to do testing? Right. All of these are questions that we're trying to answer in this POC. If you switch to the next slide for me. Here's a little graphic just to share that, you know, we are actually measuring the work. So we want to understand the full ROI, right? And that includes how much time we're saving, what effort has gone into creating, you know, how many hours have we spent creating it? And then we apply a cost, right? What is our cost of time savings versus the cost of build? Nothing magical here. I just wanted to show, you know, you can be pretty organized in your effort. Even if it's not a POC, you still might want to gather some of this data as you go so that you begin to realize, you know, what's the cost? I'm sure that's a question many of you have, you know, talking to your Salesforce sales rep and understanding the cost of Agentforce and Data Cloud is going to be a big conversation, and getting some inclination of what it would take, even if you're guessing at some of these numbers initially for your ROI calculation, that's still probably a positive thing to do.
Thanks,
so
Jeremy.
yeah, we're just so you know, we're the POC is a couple of weeks away from actually going to users to start their sort of user acceptance testing. And then based on, we're going to survey them based on their feedback, then we'll know better what the next project's going to look like and where we do a real implementation. I expect service, you know, internal service use cases to come online probably next year, given just the pace of work and stuff going on with this customer. But, and then, you know, I imagine customer involvement would be, you know, a year after that, after we've sort of fully vetted the kinds of responses we might get, and that we're confident that it's going to be safe. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Jeremy.
Thanks.
It's me. Okay. So want to talk a little bit about kind of how do you get ready, or where are you? So have a little humor in this. So does this look familiar? And I know it does in my life, some little bit scatteredness, and I've got some scattered ducks here. And I know everything we've talked about, you know, it's a lot, you know, it's a lot. We get it. And some of it you're probably like, oh my gosh, what are they talking about? Totally get it. But I think the main thing is the main message, I think, and I, again, know most of you on the phone and some of you maybe at the beginning of your journey, you haven't even started the journey. Some are in the middle, some have been on it forever. So I think a big part is, you know, thinking about your ducks. And I've got some of the ducks here that you're going to want to think about. But it kind of all goes back, you know, good data in, good data out. But it also goes back to your setup, you know, the data. Do you have processes? Are they aligned? All of this and addressing these items will help you in the long term. Now, you don't, no, it doesn't need to be perfect. I don't know what they say. Perfect is the, I don't know, the enemy of good. Like you don't, you, you want to be perfect, but that's not going to happen. So how do we help you kind of get started and get your ducks in a row? So, at the very beginning, Drew said, AI is here, right? It's not coming, it's here. So, the next step is really what can we do? So go ahead and go to the next slide. So, let's get them in order. And in a perfect world, they're all going to look, they're all going to align, and they're going to waddle in the same direction. So the next slide, what we can do to help you get there is go to the next slide. Is we can help with an AI readiness assessment. So just reach out, just let me know if you're interested, but it's at no cost to you. And really, what we're going to do is just kind of dive in and see where you are. And again, for those that haven't started, maybe you're not on Salesforce yet or you're thinking about it, that's a great time as well, right? Because that's when we're going to get your house set up correctly and help you get out of the gate and get ready for AI as well. So, would love to help you out, not trying to sell here, really, again, customer satisfaction, making sure you guys get everything you can, out of Salesforce, get the ROI on that. And I think this could really help in a big way. So anything we can do, just let us know. I hope that you guys have gotten a lot out of this webinar. But please reach out. We're here and we'd love to help you. Crawl, walk, run, right? So let us know when you're ready. Thanks.
Thanks, Julie.
Yep.
I just want to reiterate the fact that this doesn't have to be a scary process, right? It's you can go in, take a little bite, and roadmap out what you want to do, not jump in all at once, and we can help you with that. Next steps in the process, Julie will be in contact with you, determine and arrange a free Agentforce assessment if you would like. We're happy to do that. And then, we can dig a little deeper into your needs. And it's really about making you all more efficient and solving some of the problems that you have out there and introducing you to AI and not just throwing it in your lap, right? And guiding you through the process. So I want to thank everybody for joining today's roundtable. We call it Agentforce Made Simple. And we mean it. This stuff doesn't have to be complex, as we've shown. It just has to work.
We did get a question. I can take that one.
Last minute question. I love it.
Yeah, I can take it. The answer is it's available now. There could be some confusion. I understand why that question would come in. Salesforce has developing Salesforce Voice, which is intended to be their product, especially for voice CTI, right? Taking phone calls and taking in that text and letting the agent then act on whatever the customer is saying on the telephone, for example. And voice will be applied to other omni-channel kind of use cases too, where a customer might speak to their computer or on your website in a chat window. What I was specifically talking about with sales, just for clarity, is basically on your iPhone or your Android, you can speak right to it, and it will, using Apple or Android text-to-speech functionality, it will take in your speech and make text out of it, and that will work on the phone in the Salesforce app. So if you're in the Salesforce app and you click on the Agentforce icon and it opens a little chat window, you click in there and then you use the little microphone on your keyboard to speak to it. That's what I'm talking about.
And Jeremy, I'm going to repeat the question. The question that came in was voice entry of Salesforce actions by sales. Did I hear that this is still in development? And so that's what.
Yes, that's what that was. Sorry about that.
Just brought that up.
Yeah.
Any other questions out there? I'd love those last minute questions.
We did get one more. It was, how do Agentforce agents compare to MS Copilot agents?
Well, I think all of it's AI, right? All of it's developing. The main difference, I would say, right off the bat, is Agentforce is going to act on your CRM data a little more simply, right? It's built in Salesforce, and using Data Cloud, it's going to be able to action that information a little bit more simply. MS Copilot, of course, can do that with Microsoft tools. So there's not really easy comparison other than they do similar things. But Agentforce is going to be more seamlessly integrated with Salesforce. And Data Cloud, I think, is a special tool that stands out maybe as compared to some of the Microsoft offerings. A little bit easier to implement, again, in the Salesforce space. I don't know if anybody else has thoughts on that too, but yeah.
Any other questions out there? Keep them coming. All right. Looks like we've come to the end of the questions. Thank you once again for being with us today. We really appreciate your time. We know your time is valuable, and we look forward to talking to you in the future. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.